I'm in Griffith in New South Wales, which is part of the Riverina. Now this is where so much of the great food that we eat comes from. Now what I've done is put together some of our local ingredients with some seafood that I picked up on the way. Now what I'm going to do is start off with my pan here and add some extra virgin olive oil. A nice big sploosh of extra virgin olive oil. This will be one of the ingredients that helps to flavour the pasta and bring it all together. Now I'm going to throw in some red onions that I picked up at the local farmer's market. These are red onions and I've sliced them nice and thin. In goes some garlic, about 5 or 6 cloves of what you need. And what I've done with the garlic is I've just peeled it and sliced it nice and thin, and that'll go all the way through the pasta and it'll mix beautifully with my seafood. And this is the way I like to cook a pasta dish like this. Slowly infuse all these flavours into the olive oil. Now I like a little bit of spice, and what I've done is I've chopped up some chilli. Just chopped it up nice and fine like that. Not only will I get some heat from it, but that red colour will just sort of speckle all the way through the pasta. Now what I do is just stir that around nice and gently. And if you were here, you could smell how delicious this is. Now these tomatoes come from just behind me. The water they put over the soil allows it, with the sunshine, to grow some of the best tomatoes in the world. Now what I'll do is give that a bit of a stir around like that and just let it come together. I'm just going to sit here for a minute or so and let these tomatoes soften up beautifully. Look at that. The onions have softened up beautifully, and the garlics, the smell is amazing. Now what I'm going to do is add a little bit of butter, and you know I love butter with my seafood and pasta. So what I'm going to do is put a nice little spoon of butter straight in there, and that'll help to make it nice and creamy as well. Now I'm going to add some seafood. Now you can use whatever seafood you want. I've got mussels, salmon, clams and prawns here, but you could put anything you want in this dish. Now what I'm going to do is pop it into the pan here like this and just stir it around a little bit. What'll happen is the mussels will open up, the clams will open up and release all their juices into the pan and make it really nice and tasty. Now to help with those juices, a good old splush of white wine, about ½ a cup in there. And the better the wine, the better the sauce that goes into the pasta. Now I'm going to add some fresh herbs, some spring onions, and also some parsley and some dill. I'll add a little bit of this at the start and I'll save some of it for right at the end. Now of course we need to season this up. Salt loves meat, meat loves salt. Seafood is the meat of the ocean, so we need to add a good amount of salt straight in there like that, and of course some pepper. I'm using black pepper. You can use white pepper or any other pepper you like, and a good amount of pepper in there will help to make it even tastier. Pop that over there, and all I do is give that a little bit of a stir around like this to make sure everything is mixed together nicely. And what I'm going to do is pop the lid on. I know this will take about 4 or 5 minutes to start to simmer and to get that seafood to cook and open up all those mussel shells and release the juices. What I'm going to do is put my pasta into the seafood just before it's cooked so it soaks up all those juices, and go sit over on the rock there right next to Hermit's Cave Lookout overlooking the township of Griffith. Oh, look at that. It doesn't take very long at all to cook fresh pasta. Now, if my nonna was watching, she would say, Adrian, you never put fresh pasta with seafood, but she's not watching, so I'm going to get away with it. Now, what I'm going to do is just grab with my tongs the pasta and pop it straight into the pan here. And one of the tricks is to slightly undercook your pasta, a little bit under al dente. And what that does is it allows the pasta to soak up all the juices that are in the seafood. And I don't mind a little bit of water coming with the pasta. That also gives it a lovely starchiness and helps to give it a bit of a shine. Now what I'm going to do is add the last of the herbs. I've got some dill and some parsley. You can use chives, you can use thyme, you can use anything you want. A little bit of pepper on there, and of course just a tiny bit of salt on the top of it. Now what I'm going to do is just give that a bit of a toss around like this. Hopefully I won't make too much of a mess. It smells fantastic. I'll just let that sit for a couple more minutes before I do plate it up, but I'm just going to pick up my fork and hook straight into it. Look at that. You can taste the tomato, the onions and garlic have come through there. They haven't overpowered the seafood at all. This is a beautiful dish. And what a beautiful place to eat it.